Hello, my name is Phoenix Ojulord, and today I and my team will walk you through our presentation on our three-year action plan for how CyberArk should continue to expand and develop itself moving into the future. Across this presentation, you'll be given an overview of the current state of CyberArk, a summary of threats posed to CyberArk, as well as you'll be informed of what our three-year action plan actually is, its initiatives, along with the response to the zero-day exploit discovered in CyberArk systems, as well as the ethical decision-making going into the response. Without further ado, the first of my teammates, Dylan Talaktek, will take you through the current state of CyberArk as a company. Thank you.
This is Dylan Talaktak, and I'll be taking you through CyberArk's brief history and some of its recent acquisitions. CyberArk was established in Israel in 1999, leveraging the country's strong tech ecosystem. In 2004, recognizing the rising importance of PAM, CyberArk honed its focus on this critical area, addressing security concerns for enterprises across industries and entering a huge market. In 2011, CyberArk rapidly experienced a 40% growth rate, becoming profitable that same year. This demonstrates the company's impressive scalability and market demand, a notable accomplishment in the cybersecurity sector. Solidifying its position as a market leader, CyberArk went public in 2014, launching an IPO, signaling investor confidence and setting the stage for farther growth and innovation. Recently, in 2024, CyberArk reached an annual revenue of a little over $1 billion. This is an impressive milestone, highlighting its strength and market dominance in the PAM field. Moving forward with this momentum, CyberArk made some strategic acquisitions. Venefi in 2024 for $1 billion in cash and 540 million worth of shares in CyberArk. This acquisition significantly expands CyberArk's reach into the machine identity management, a critical area in modern cybersecurity. CyberArk also acquired Zilla Security for $165 million in 2025, strengthening its position in the identity security market and further expanding its portfolio with innovative identity-centric solutions. These acquisitions illustrate CyberArk's continued focus on expanding capabilities and cementing its leadership in the cybersecurity space. Moving on from CyberArk's brief history and recent acquisitions, I'll be going over CyberArk's position in the cybersecurity industry. As a pioneer and trusted leader in PAM, CyberArk provides innovative solutions to protect critical assets from evolving cyber threats. CyberArk has showcased exceptional agility, continuously adapting to the changing cybersecurity landscape and staying ahead of emerging challenges. Built on a foundation of integrity, CyberArk has earned a reputation for reliable, dependable security solutions that meet the highest industry standards. Well entrenched in Western markets, with a strong presence across North America and Europe, CyberArk has integrated itself deeply into the cybersecurity infrastructure of key enterprises, government agencies, and financial institutions. With a very high rate of customer retention, CyberArk's commitment to innovation and customer success has led to exceptional customer loyalty, with clients relying on its solutions for long-term security. CyberArk embraces strategic risk-taking, such as retaining employees during economic hardship, which has often positioned the company ahead of its competitors, driving growth and success. Now entering CyberArk's financial growth, strategic moves, and future outlook. CyberArk has consistently demonstrated strong financial performance, reinforcing its long-term viability and stability in the cybersecurity market by demonstrating continuous growth year after year. From 2022 to 2024, CyberArk saw a 60% increase in revenue, reflecting its ability to scale effectively and meet the growing demand for its cybersecurity solutions. Showcasing the success of its recurring revenue model, CyberArk now generates 73% of its 2024 revenue solely through subscriptions. This ensures long-term recurring income and strengthens customer relationships. With 841 million in cash reserves, CyberArk is well positioned to continue investing in innovation, acquisitions, and global expansion. CyberArk's strategic acquisitions of Venefi and Zilla Security allow entry into the machine identity management, and broader identity security markets, which both fall under the critical infrastructure industry, allowing for a larger consumer base, farther increasing revenue. These acquisitions reinforce CyberArk's position as a cybersecurity leader, cementing its place in the evolving market. With a strong track record of growth, strategic acquisitions, and financial stability, CyberArk is well equipped to drive the future of cybersecurity and maintain its industry leadership.
Hi, my name is Vinny Sabatel, and I'll be taking you through the state of regulatory compliance. CyberArk is largely dominant in the privileged access management, and they help ensure the consumer's regulatory compliance state. CyberArk is a leader in PAM, which helps organizations secure their most sensitive accounts from cyber threats, insider risks, and compliance violations. CyberArk also has a zero trust security model that ensures privileged access is only granted to the right people, reducing risk and improving compliance. Since CyberArk develops and distributes these products, it maintains full regulatory compliance. CyberArk's Privileged Cloud serves as a prime example of how the company maintains its own regulatory compliance while also helping its customers meet their compliance requirements. CyberArk also holds compliance accreditations, gaining new customer confidence in regulatory standards. These accreditations also show trust in the company and their products meets regulatory compliance. The biggest challenge to regulatory compliance comes to expanding in a new industry, as it introduces additional regulations that must be met. Now on to market analysis. There are several key sectors closely related to CyberArk's focus and would be easy for CyberArk to expand into due to previous acquisitions. The most prominent of these markets are cloud computing and critical infrastructure. The chart on the right-hand side is showing growth rate of the future model of how critical infrastructure and cloud computing are going to look. As you can see, critical infrastructure is growing at a much faster rate than cloud computing. Smart critical infrastructure merges IoT technology, AI, and other complex technologies into important systems like power grids and transportation to enhance efficiency and security. Cloud computing helps remote security. AI tools will help make it easier for smart critical infrastructure and cloud computing to be both implemented and developed, furthering the growth of these markets. However, AI will also further security risks posed by these technologies due to furthering ability of threat actors to attack these systems. This creates a need for companies such as CyberArk to protect technologies and these industries so they can help with these cybersecurity problems. Now entering into CyberArk's key business threats to success. While CyberArk is well entrenched in privileged access management, consumers will actively seek the consolidation of fields. This occurs by the virtue of consumers finding it more convenient to have larger companies that fulfill a wider variety of roles. CyberArk presently has a higher quality of specialized products, which in the security field is vulnerable to consolidation due to the fact that consumers can easily lose sight of the value of these specialized products. Due to that, nobody remembers an attack that didn't happen. This is a concept generally floating around in security fields, and security products are best remembered by their failures, as nobody remembers all the attacks that were silently and successfully stopped. This then means that competitors who might breach into PAM may sell less specialized products, but they are products functionally enough to enter into the PAM industry and weaken CyberArk's hold over it. Consumers will naturally gravitate towards the convenience of these consolidated companies for the aforementioned reasons. As well, this process of consolidation has already occurred in similar tech fields, with notable examples being development of massive tech fields such as Meta, which consolidate the consumer's tech products under the umbrella of one massive company.
And now, having discussed the financial state of CyberArk as a company, along with the future business threats to CyberArk's success, we now move on to discussing the cybersecurity threats that CyberArk needs to rise to answer. These can be divided between technologies that, as they are developed, will pose a security threat when wielded by threat actors who will use these technologies to attack systems CyberArk would protect. Along the short term, AI tools pose the greatest threat in that when they get into the hands of threat actors, they will rapidly expand the capabilities of these actors and will allow certain threat actors to circumvent downsides associated with their size. Over the long term, quantum computing poses an existential risk to all cybersecurity companies, and those who fail to adapt to it will be unlikely to survive its whole implementation to the wider market. Threat actors can be divided between third-party actor groups that are unaffiliated with a large organization and are financially motivated, while government actors are typically motivated by the pursuance of a political agenda. And so, for the financial impact of threats, as mentioned, quantum computing will mark a transitional period into a post-quantum world that few companies will survive unprepared. AI tools expand the capabilities of both kinds of threat actors and enable them to, over the short term, launch larger and more devastating cyber attacks. The business expansion options available to CyberArk as they are laying critical infrastructure security, which is becoming smart infrastructure, cloud computing and IoT, or doubling down and focusing on privileged access management. Due to the fact that critical infrastructure and smart critical infrastructure is simultaneously one of the largest industries and one of the fastest expanding, but one of the most stable and least contested, we suggest expanding into the smart critical infrastructure industry. Governments are the main market, or the public sector is the main market for smart critical infrastructure, and thus we would advise integrating our services further into existing governments, and strategic partnerships will enable CyberArk to plan around dangerous technologies ahead of time. For a benefits breakdown, entering into CI, as mentioned, critical infrastructure is one of the fastest growing industries and is expected to reach a market cap of $985.25 billion USD within the next 5 to 10 years. It is a stable industry, as mentioned, and has a great need for security necessities, which CyberArk provides. For integrating further into governments, CyberArk already provides great support for government systems such as GovCloud in the West, along with boasting a long history of trustworthy conduct, and trust is the most valuable currency in all security dealings. Governments make incredibly stable partners in the public sector as they typically do not run out of money and simply require their partners to be able to meet their standards, which CyberArk has handily been able to do along its long history of service. For securing strategic partnerships, prime targets be IBM and OpenAI, the industry leaders of quantum computing and AI tools respectively, and joining them, as mentioned, allows CyberArk to develop around these technological threats ahead of time and stay ahead of the curve. Points of ease, CyberArk's already made acquisitions in CI, as mentioned earlier. Government integration allows CyberArk to circumvent the risks associated with meeting new regulatory compliance, and CyberArk has strong pre-existing relationships with various government entities already. Our initiatives roadmap in the bottom left, you may see and observe our budgets breakdown presented as a pie chart. In year one, we recommend entering CI with a flagship product, developing it over year one, and entering it into the private sector in year two to refine it, and then enter into the public sector in year two. In year three, that is when we propose securing these strategic partnerships to then reevaluate where CyberArk stands, using information presented by this and examining the benefits we've gotten from our CI product. Our KPIs will be the expansion of growing contracts, our customer retention, and revenue and product generated in the CI industry, along with the strategic partnerships quality and quantity we enter. The metrics will be the speed of product development, CI satisfaction, CI product growth and its rate of adoption, along with how rapidly we meet the deadlines for all of our strategic goals. Our initiatives address risks by safeguarding CyberArk against aforementioned consolidation of industries by expanding what CyberArk actually does and entering it into a new industry. It cements CyberArk into a more stable position that has a greater opportunity for growth than is already available, and enables proactive development of the countermeasures to dangerous technologies, along with granting CyberArk additional informational capacities for monitoring these threats. The zero-day exploit discovered. This exploit was found on a bug bounty and has since entered into the private or the black market for threat actors dealing with it and has fallen into the hands of a group. We suggest only publicly disclosing this vulnerability after it has already been addressed privately and solved, as public disclosure allows threat actors who may not already have it to adopt it further. Ethically, this is because to take maximal care of our consumers and customers, we need to take discrete action. We'd recommend reaching for government assistance in tracking down on the perpetrators to help take a threat actor out of the equation functionally. These are criminals, and as well, this is how we would be able to seek legal reimbursement for any damages they may have already caused. In a closing summary, CyberArk has a strong trust position that it gives it a unique opportunity to expand government relationships further, a powerful financial state making it easy to develop a flagship CI product, is well established in PAM, and our establishment in PAM makes it a very logical next step to expand its critical infrastructure. CyberArk boasts a robust company history, which is emblematic of competent leadership, along with as well that our plan utilizes existing relationships within the government, along with existing acquisitions to expand into CI and secure a CI customer base, as well as it enters CyberArk into strategic partnerships, allowing CyberArk to more handily address developing cybersecurity threats. Thank you.